welcome. In today's fast-moving world, organizations are embracing digital landscape and working towards exceeding the customer expectation. Digital transformation offers organization an opportunity to engage with the modern buyers and deliver on their expectations a seamless customer experience. CNBC TV 18 presents Haptik Customer First, a special series focused on the world of customer service. I'm Shibani Gharat, and today we have with us Talreja, Chief Marketing and Customer Service Officer at Shopperstop. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Shibani, and thank you for having me and looking forward to our chat today.
My idea of customer service at Shopperstop, being a customer of the brand myself, is, when I would enter the store, I would see these men and women dressed in black welcoming me and taking me through the different departments of the store. Now, over the past 1 year, considering, the shops are shut, of course, there is a down, the footfall in the shops have gone down. How are you translating and taking this experience online?
So, Shivani, very good to know that you have visited the Shopperstop store and have been a customer. You would have then also enrolled into our loyalty program, firstly, which is the First Citizen program. I think the difference for us here is that we do not treat it as a rewards program, but it's really a relationship program, and that's really the focal point of how we define our relationship with the customer and how we actually serve the customer, right? And therefore, the program is called First Citizen, where every customer for us is literally a first citizen. I think it's embodied in that brand name, First Citizen itself. I think during the pandemic, of course, we know that customers have their needs have changed, right? So there is a need to shop, but there's also a need for safety. There's a need for care. There's a need for attention, right? There's a need for a lot of empathy, which is also there for consumers because it's been a difficult time for everybody, right? During the pandemic, what we have therefore done is we have actually translated exactly what you said, the assistance that we create for customers at the store, but taken that digitally. I think that's the first initiative that was taken by us. And what we launched during this time is a service called the White Glove Service, which allows our staff to actually serve you in the comfort of your home through either WhatsApp video or chat services, right? So I think that is one of the initiatives that we took. And we are one of the only brands that has a very wide and well-established personal shopper service. So we have more than 300 personal shoppers which are on the store, who we actually trained to go digital, right? And launched an enterprise solution to actually serve the customer from home. So from an unstructured way of actually maybe calling a customer, talking to a customer, we moved that to a very solid enterprise solution, which allows the customers to reach out to staff. It could be your favorite personal shopper, or it could be just a customer who's actually wanting to explore, and therefore we allocate a trained personal shopper to actually be able to assist you online and then actually catalog, sell to you, or answer your queries, on WhatsApp and chat as channels. So I think that was the first move that we made, apart from, of course, making sure that we up our experience online. I think pre-COVID, all of us saw online as a channel of extra convenience, right? And we know that we had to be present there because it was important to be there and more from a marketing presence of the brand. But today it's a critical channel which is both for sales as well as for service. And I think that's an important pivot that most retailers have made, right? And it was very important for us, therefore, that we build our app to be able to serve the kind of demand that we saw, which was post-COVID, all from technology being actually much more stabilized, much more scalable, and then building features which actually helped our first citizens to be able to have the same privileges and the same services and the same attention online as they would enjoy in the stores.
So much has changed over the past 1 year. There are not just beauty and fashion brands, but there are beauty specialty apps. There are fashion specialty apps. And along with this entire embracing of e-commerce platforms and apps has also led to a rise in customer expectations. So do share with us, how is Shopperstop meeting this rise in customer expectations?
I think there was a time in the pandemic where you saw that there was a backlog, obviously, of deliveries. and people were receiving their orders even, let's say, 15 days, whether it was Amazon or whether it was any other platform. That was the general trend in the market. I think one thing that one learned at this point in time is that it is different consumers have different expectations at different points in time, but however, what is most important is to be transparent about it, right? So even if you're going to take 10 days, it is important to be transparent about it. If it's going to take 2 days, it's important to be transparent about it. The first thing that we have done actually is therefore made sure that the expectation is very well clarified with the consumer in terms of when we can deliver that product. So I think that is something that is front stated, and then we are actually giving a clear tracking to the customer as to where their order currently lies and when they can actually expect the delivery. So I think this was definitely something that we put into place at that point in time. Second is consistent improvement of the delivery TAT, right? So bringing it down, and where it is actually the same store delivery. So we have a unified inventory firstly in the back end, which is across stores and warehouses, and we do ship from store, right? So all Shopper Stop stores are actually enabled to dispatch when stores are open, obviously during pandemic, and they have permission to ship from store. So improving the delivery TAT, where you can actually be almost hyper local in nature in terms of delivering to the closest location. So we changed our algorithms during the pandemic to be able to actually expedite delivery, and also improve availability by actually making it more hyper local to the store where the product is available, and then shipping actually from the store. So that's another expectation in terms of delivery timelines that we could actually meet. Shoppers Hub has there's trust, which is very important as a value that we have built over so many years with consumers. So our return policy and our exchange policy actually is fairly more indulgent, I would say, and lenient with customers than maybe what they experience in the market. So we do have a no questions asked returns and exchange policy, and there is a clear timeline in terms of looking at a month of time when consumers have to actually act on that. So usually, if there is obviously there is breakage, etc., it is much more important to do that. But in terms of really you don't like it, you change your mind, etc., it's a very seamless process where also it is omni-channel in nature. So you could actually shop online and also come to a store and make a return or make an experience, exchange at the store, where you can then try and take a product that you feel is going to maybe fit you better, or you want to try and buy, right? So there are things like that that we have brought in, definitely. I think we also found certain experiences, I mean, just through the data that we look at, and I'll give you a very simple insight. It's very difficult maybe for some consumers to shop when there is a plethora of choice, right? And all retailers, as retailers, we are trying to create choice for the consumer, right? We want to give that indulgent experience where you can explore. It is a browse category. You want to look through multiple things because it's fashion and beauty at the end of the day. However, it's not as easy, therefore, to maybe reach that decision for certain consumers who may be wanting to actually get that help. And how do you help that? So we introduced visual search very recently, where if you like something that someone else is wearing, or you saw something on an international website, you can feed it into the search window of the ShopperStop website or the ShopperStop app, and then that throws you very near to what choice you have actually put in. And this actually probably meets a lot of aspiration quotient as well, in terms of consumers really imagining that they really like something else, right? But there's no way to maybe filter that out in terms of a choice, right? How do you filter? Because most people you're filtering on color, you're filtering on maybe size and many other common attributes. But if let's say, like, for example, if I really like the necklace that you're wearing, how do I describe it? But if I actually visually feed it in, I'm sure I can find a close enough match. So we introduced a feature like that, which is again very useful for consumers to shop, because we saw that people were finding it difficult, because it's time pressed consumers who want to actually find something that they're looking for, and maybe in the store they have a staff and they explain something and you can actually find it, and we actually put in a visual search as another feature which we can actually use to help consumers to make a decision for themselves much faster and easier.
Uma, moving on, what is your idea of or experience of the intersection between psychology and technology. You've mentioned how you have enhanced the entire customer experience on, how you can upload an image on your app. But, towards the end of the day, there is this emotional connect that, customer has with something. So how do you marry it and, bring it in your customer service?
So I think to me, when I look at technology and psychology coming, together, I think the first point of influence that I've seen of digital is pure in the discovery, right? So I mean, when was the last time that you ask somebody a question? I think the first thing you do is you search for it on Google. I think there is where I found that it is a technology, but is really actually using the intent that a consumer has, right? And it's actually creating influence going from there. And I think that this has been the most powerful digital influence, which we've also seen where people are searching for something online, and it could be across occasions, it could be across product, it could be across information. So, for example, someone who's thinking through maternity wear, right, in terms of actually questioning, saying at what stage should I look at what kind of maternity wear in the pregnancy, and how do you actually link this back to say did the consumer actually discover and then maybe come to the store for actually finishing the purchase. So we used Google's to visit for something like that, but it's really looking at where is the consumer actually exploring. Consumers exploring on Google, right? And exploration is a very powerful psychological moment for any human being, right? Where you're actually looking for inspiration in terms of, what can I do next because of whatever I need, and how do I actually tackle that. I think the second piece, which is a very powerful and dominant influence to me, has been the social media influx, right? And in terms of, really looking at saying, where do I learn, right? Where do I actually get excited? And social media has become a very pivoting piece in terms of really bringing psychology and technology together, because it is more public and community driven. And I think that's where the whole piece is much more important to consumers, because now it is no longer about me asking Google, but it's really peer to peer. And that makes a really big difference to consumers, because it's almost giving endorsement. And the brand is also giving endorsement, or brand is actually leveraging endorsement at many times, but is really looking at peer group endorsement in a very strong way, and therefore giving a consumer a lot of confidence in their decision being the correct decision.
Absolutely, absolutely. Limitless possibilities offered by the technology. Thank you, Uma. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Thank you, Shivani.
That was Uma Talreja sharing with us how Shoppers Stop has transformed their unique in-store experience, embraced digital, and brought this unique experience online. For more such conversations, stay tuned into CNBC TV 18 presents Haptik Customer First. Goodbye.